Hey guys, welcome to another video. Don't mind this head I'm putting on. So I was cooking yesterday and I was cooking stew, and then the stew jumped into my eyes and burnt my face, and that's why I'm wearing this kind of hair so that I can cover my face. But anyways, I'm heading right now to get a sunshade. Then I would start answering questions about study, permits and all. So I asked you guys to comment below your questions, and I've gotten some questions and I'll be answering them while I walk to get my sunshade and then also go to the registry to get my Alberta health card. So this is not a fashion vlog, so don't mind the hair anyways. Just get the information and that's it. Thank you.
I begin to I begin to
Okay, so the first question I'm answering is, this person said, please dear, did you go through another online application for study visa after gaining an admission? Yes. So when I decided I wanted to pursue a one-year program in Canada, I applied for admission, got my admission, and then I applied for my study permit online. And mind you, when you're applying for study permits online, you are applying as though you are in Nigeria, because you did not do the prerequisite course for 3 months. So if you do not do that course, then you would have to apply as though you're in Nigeria. The next question is, hello Evelyn, thank you so much for this video. You're welcome. Assuming I don't have anybody in Canada, no family, and I get to Canada on visitor's visa as a tourist with an offer letter, can I apply for study permits in Canada and Flagpole as well? Or I would do a short course for 3 months before applying for study visa? Well, if you check the Canada website, if you're in Canada as a visitor and you decide that you want to stay behind in the country and you have decided to pursue a program, you can actually apply to admission in any school, get the admission, and apply for study permits. Now, for the 3 month course, that's a prerequisite course. There are some universities that before you get the admission, they would want you to do a 3 month compulsory course, because it's actually necessary for the program that you are going for. So if the university asks you to do this course, that is only when you will do the course. If not, you can apply for the program. Most times you will see it as a requirement. So when you are reading through the requirements for admission, you will see it as a requirement that you have to do a 3 month prerequisite course. But if it's not a requirement for you, you don't have to do it. And then because you did not do this program, you would have to apply for your study permit as though you are in Nigeria. But if you did the prerequisite course, then when you're doing your application, you will apply that you are in Canada and you are applying for study permits. So there are two different things. Like for me, I didn't do the prerequisite course. So when I was applying, there's this questions that the Canada immigration would ask you before they would just ask you about what you're coming to study and stuff like that, so that they would know the kind of form you are to fill. So when they ask you that question, they would then ask you, are you applying from Nigeria or you're applying from Canada? If you say you're applying from Nigeria, so if you're in Canada and you did not do this 3-month course, you will say you're applying from Nigeria. And then when you start your application, when they ask for your recent residence, then you will put your Canada residence as the address. And if you did the 3-month prerequisite course, when you are asked this question, you will say that you are applying from inside Canada. I still have other unanswered questions in the video, so try to watch till the end. So right now I'm going to the registry to get my Alberta health card, but unfortunately I couldn't get it because they told me to bring a proof that I'm staying in Alberta. So it's either I bring a bank statement showing my address. So I'll be coming back on Monday. Okay, so someone asked, congrats dear, but please, how long have you been in Canada on the visitor's visa before you went for the flagpoling? So it was approximately 4 months. I've been in Canada for 4 months before I got my study permit and went to the border for flagpoling. So as a visitor, you are allowed to stay for 6 months before you exit the country. With your study permit, how many hours can you work per week as a student? Well, you are given 20 hours per week as a student, and it is stated in your study permit. But in a situation whereby it's not stated in your study permit that you are to work for 20 hours a week, you still need to work 20 hours per week, even though it wasn't stated on your study permit. Note that even though it's not stated in your study permit, it's 20 hours that you have as a student to work in Canada. Stephanie? This person said, did you apply for study visa before doing flagpole? And if yes, do you get study stamp on your passport? So you must apply for the study visa. Even though you're in Canada, you must apply for study visa and get your study visa approved. Then you would have to send your passport to Ottawa, even though you have your visiting visa in your passport, because I had 10 years visiting visa. You still need to send your passport to Ottawa, and then it will be stamped. You will have a 1 year, if you are doing a 1 year program, you will have a 1 year stamp on your passport. If you're doing a 2 years program, you have 2 years stamp. So the stamp is basically the duration of your study. So I had a 1 year stamp on my passport. Then when I got my passport back from Ottawa, I then went ahead to flagpole. Okay, another question. What day of the week did you flagpole? And was the time 6 p.m. or a.m.? So I actually did my flagpoling on a Saturday, and it was actually a public holiday because we were celebrating Remembrance Day. And you know, the border, they open every day 24 hours. So I did it on a Saturday, and I left my house by 6 a.m. because it was a 3 hours journey. So we got there by 10 a.m. and that was when I did my flagpoling. I did it by 10 a.m. Okay, so another question. This person said, you go to Canada on a visiting and apply for college from in Canada as an international student. I think I've answered this question, but I'm going to answer again. So I applied from inside Canada because I never had intention to school here. I only came to visit. But then I found this course in accounting because I did accounting in my bachelor's. I found this course to like upgrade, and I decided to work on it. So I did my admission application inside Canada, and then within 2 weeks I got my admission decision. Someone is asking, hi Evelyn, how long do visiting visas stay before approval? Can one be working before converting to study? Concerning the processing time, you can check that on IRCC portal. But for my own, it took like 9 months before I got my approval. So it took approximately 9 months before I got my approval after biometrics. And then can one be working before converting to study? No, as a visitor you cannot work in Canada. So I've not been working for 4 months since when I came in, and I can't work until January when I want to start my school. So when I was writing my letter of explanation, I made it known to the visa officer that I am currently obeying their rules and laws in the country, that my status in Canada is a visitor and I have not been working. I have obeyed the laws and the conditions on the visitor's visa. So at least that made my application stronger. Hello madam, thank you for your video. Please, assuming someone applied for a visitor visa and it has been pending for over 6 months on IRCC, can the person still submit a study visa on IRCC? Remember, it will have 2 applications, now visitor and study. Will there be any issue? Can one person have 2 applications on IRCC? The answer is yes, you can have 2 applications on IRCC. So because the visiting visa, the application number for visiting visa and the application number for study permit is totally different, but you have one UCI number. So when you already have a visitor's visa pending and you want to apply for study permit, what you do is when you open the application for study permit, make sure you use the same UCI number that you used for your visiting visa. In that way, they will be able to know that you have a pending application. Even if you don't put that UCI number, they would still know that you have a pending application and they might just reject it immediately. So make sure you use that same UCI number for the study permit. Then another application number will be generated to you, and that application number starts with S for the study visa. So when I did my own, I applied for the study permit using my visitor's visa UCI number. UCI number does not change, it remains the same. You use it for all your application. So yes, this person can have 2 applications pending. But if it was to be that the person has a visiting visa and then wants to apply another visiting visa, when you apply another visiting visa, the one you had pending before may be withdrawn by the IRCC. So they might withdraw that one and then start processing this new one that you just made. So, but in this case, the boats will be processed, and sometimes, because I've seen someone that it actually made their visiting visa process faster, because immediately the person did another application, immediately they just granted the visiting visa, they approved the visiting visa. So you can have both, it's not a problem. I hope I answered your question. Hi Eve, please, as a visitor, what size of luggage should one carry? Well, it depends on what you are coming to do actually. The kind of, did you come to visit family? Are you a tourist, or did you come for conference? So if you actually came to visit family members, you can bring foodstuffs. Like, yeah, because your family members, it's been long they went back to Nigeria, so they want you to bring foodstuffs for them. So you can actually bring foodstuffs for your family friends. It's not a problem. For your family, whoever you're coming to visit, you can actually bring foodstuffs to them. If you're coming as a tourist and you'll be staying at an Airbnb, you can also bring few foodstuffs, because Airbnb, you have kitchen to cook whatever you want to cook, and some of the tourists, you may not be able to eat the food they have here, so you decided to bring your own food to cook in Canada. So you can bring few foodstuffs like Indomie, or you can bring few. But if you're coming for conference and your conference is even the next day or that same week, I don't think you should be coming with foodstuffs. Just come with your clothes, your documents for the conference. You won't need foodstuffs. You will be asked. You will be asked questions on why you came with foodstuffs. So, as a visitor coming to visit family member, you can come with foodstuffs. I came with foodstuffs for my family because they asked me to buy a lot of foodstuffs for them. So I actually came with 3 bags. As a tourist, you can come with few. But if you're coming for conference, I don't think you should come with any foodstuff. Maybe you can come with a few provisions, like maybe cornflakes. Alright, bye.